Hey, Clem. Nice to meet you here in our first video. Today's topic is that what do you think about real estate investment?
Well, it's good to be here. I know you've talked a lot about this, and I'm glad to be able to kind of answer some of these questions from my end. I think I think real estate investment itself is, I would say, a strategic move. Um, and if you're looking for an opportunity for passive growth of your money, this is a great way to do that. And so, if you're looking at long term, not only do you have equity growth in whatever you're investing in, whether it's both in residential or commercial, uh, it's a way for your money to grow in the background while you're, maybe still doing your W-2 job, which for me, I am as a full-time employee of the government. I still have my active pay, but then at least my money is still growing passively, whether I see it or not, and based on market increases over time.
Based on my, own real estate investment experience, I believe real estate investment is the best investment vehicle. Do you agree?
I 100% agree. I think it's just, again, like one of those realities that you're always going to need a home. Businesses always need a place to work from. Uh, Land is very finite. And so when you look at it from just that perspective, uh, real estate, regardless of what, it's always a requirement. It's always a need. People need to have a place to be able to live. People need a place to be able to work from. And land isn't growing any more than it is. And so real estate is always a great investment vehicle.
So what advantage that you think real estate investment can bring to you in your understanding?
So for me, it gives time value. So I was watching some other podcasts before and how it relates to my journey, and real estate itself gives you time value, and that's the
You
best
mean
part.
appreciation?
Well, I mean by appreciation, but I also mean it's appreciating in the background. But when you're also looking at it from a cash flow perspective, or even as a passive income stream, uh, it gives you that time back. And so while you're either working, as a landlord, owning both residential or commercial real estate, you're reaping the benefits of rent. You're reaping the benefits of equity growth on the property, but you're getting your time back. And so if your portfolio continues to grow, your passive income continues to grow, your thought process is not usually in the today and the tomorrow. It's more of in the future, as far as where you're reinvesting as an investor, thinking like one. And so you get a lot of your time back while your money's making money for you.
And other than like time value, I believe when you say time value, it's like inflation resistant, right? Offset
Yep.
inflation along the time. And you have the passive income. Actually, according to my experience, residential property investment doesn't really, it's not considered passive.
No, you're absolutely
You
right.
have lots of work, right?
Yeah. So residential 100% is if you look at what your tolerance is, are you getting a little bit of time back from an active W-2 job? Yes. Is it still very active in comparison to other asset classes within real estate? Yes. So you're going to spend a lot more time with residential as opposed to increasing your time value as compared to commercial real estate. And so it's just a matter of how active you want to be, how involved you want to be. I would say today, in today's generation, even in mine, getting your time back is more important while you're younger than later. So if you were to kind of split the difference back in the day where everybody only understood residential property, it was comfortable. Everyone understood that, but they didn't realize how much time it took working with tenants. I think if I knew what I knew now, back in the day, I would have started with commercial real estate as soon as possible. Um, Although there's a barrier to entry to get to that point, if I had gotten there, I would have had more time for myself and my wife, because the return on investment is so much greater, and you get so much more time value back.
Actually, everybody, I believe, like not say everybody, 99% of real estate investors started with residential real estate investment. Did you do something in real estate investment?
I did. So I did the same thing that most folks do, which is they start out with residential property first. And then the goal was if I can grow the equity within the residential portfolio, eventually I can reach that barrier to entry and transition that over to commercial real estate. But I didn't know I was going to go into commercial real estate. My thought was continue to compound over residential property. It wasn't until I was a bit more advised and I realized, what is this asset class? What is this real estate asset class that I'm completely unfamiliar with? Seems scary to me because you don't see a lot, you don't hear a lot of people talk about commercial real estate. So I went through the same process of learning. Fortunately, I got some good guidance from you that helped me, help my wife and I really, break through that barrier. So we did purchase our first property over in San Antonio, Texas. We thought it was great. Had we long holded it, maybe it would have grown. But I think the return on investment was so much lower when you factor in the fact that as a landlord, even as a homeowner, you're responsible for the taxes, the insurance, all the maintenance. If you're stuck, with an HOA that continues to grow, because if you ever got into a condo association, HOA fees tend to always go up. They tend to, they don't tend to go down. So when you're looking at, if you're even leveraged and you're paying on a mortgage, a lot of that aggregated cost is coming out of you, as opposed to where now understand with commercial leases, they're structured in a way that could be advantageous to an investor. And so I went from one property, tried to roll over to another, to come to find out that the return on investment, the liquidity, the equity in it was so much lower. But I had to kind of go through that process before I realized, do I want to continue dealing with residential tenants? The pain that sometimes go with property management on your own, because now you're adding on additional 20 to 30% of your profit or your cash flow that would have gone into maintaining a residential portfolio, and it's going out to everybody else. And so by the time you get your money back, it's so much less. And so breaking into commercial, we decided to sell one of our recent properties and 1031 exchange it into a commercial opportunity over in Arizona.
Yeah, it is. It would be very interesting for our audience to learn about this transitional process, like you switch transition from residential real estate investment into commercial real estate investment. Then we can share your transitional experience in another video. So audience, I hope you can stay tuned for our next video, that how Clement changed his residential investment into commercial investment, from residential real estate investment into commercial real estate investment. Okay, see you again in our next video.
Thanks. Look forward to sharing at least my experience, my journey on this one. And if it makes sense for you, then, it's definitely a process that can be replicated. It's not as difficult as you think it is. And I'd be glad to share that.
Thank you. Yeah, let's talk again. in our next video.
Sounds good.
Thank you.